All right, chapter number 7, Accounting Information Systems. In this particular chapter, this is going to be one of the shortest chapters we're going to be looking at. There are 3 objectives. The first objective is something called special journals. Now, up until this chapter, we've always been dealing with a general journal. But we are now going to have a total of 5 journals. We're going to have the general journal and 4 others. Those special journals are called the cash receipts journal, the cash disbursements journal, the sales journal, and sometimes the last one is either called the purchases journal or the accounts payable journal. I normally refer to it as accounts payable. Now, these are special journals, and what makes them special is that each of them you only record specific transactions. Example, cash receipts journal. Only transactions that involve the receipt of cash will be in this special journal. It doesn't matter where that cash comes from, if it's a customer paying an account, if it's a sale with a cash sale, if it's borrowing money from the bank, all of those is the receipt of cash. It goes in cash receipts. Cash disbursements, that special journal is special because it only records the disbursement or payment of cash. This is basically where you're going to be writing a check out to somebody. So if you pay a vendor, you pay your employees their wages, you pay off a loan, you refund some money to somebody, that's a cash disbursements journal. It goes there. The sales journal, only the sales of merchandise on account will go in the sales journal. The purchases journal, well, that has been expanded and it's now called usually the accounts payable journal. So anytime you buy something in an account and you're going to record the bill, you haven't paid it yet because when you pay it, it goes in the cash disbursements. But when you record it, it goes in the accounts payable journal. If you have a transaction that does not fall into cash receipts or cash disbursements, the sales journal or the accounts payable journal, well, you've got to record it, but where do you put it? Well, you put it in the general journal. What type of transactions would go in the general journal? Closing entries, adjusting entries. Those would be examples of things that would go in the general journal. Our second objective is going to be control accounts and special subsidiary ledgers. And here on the board, I have a heading here. Let's assume that this is our general ledger. And in our general ledger, we have a ledger account cash, accounts receivable, supplies, inventory, and we'd have a variety. We have more accounts. But one of those accounts would be accounts receivable. And let's assume we've got a balance of $15,000. Well, if all we had was the general ledger and we had that balance, we wouldn't know by looking at that who owed us the $15,000. So we need a mechanism to help us show who owes us that money. That is done in something called the subsidiary ledger. In this one I have a subsidiary accounts receivable ledger. And we're going to have customer A, B, C, D, and E. All of the customer accounts, when we add up their individual balances, they will equal the balance in the accounts receivable account. Accounts receivable is our control account. It controls this subsidiary ledger. Other types of control accounts would be inventory. It would have a subsidiary ledger. Investments, accounts payable would all have subsidiary ledgers. Our last and third objective in this particular chapter is technology-based accounting. Now, I don't expect you to read that part of the chapter, and I will not be testing you on that part of the chapter. But it talks about different types of software for accounting. Software comes in basically 3 levels: a lower level, a mid-level, and a upper level. The upper level can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oracle, PeopleSoft. These are names that are synonymous with top-end, high-end accounting systems. Lower-end systems would be things like Peachtree or QuickBooks. They're very reasonable, inexpensive, and they're very good software for smaller businesses. Again, I will not be testing you on this last objective. So what do you need out from the test? Students always want to know what's going to be on the test. Special journals and subsidiary ledgers. That is chapter number 7.